German, you know what this is right here? Hang on, I got some on my nose. You know what this is right here?
What is that?
A check for $27,735 for our Subaru STI. This means we're making more progress on our Ferrari flip video that we started with just 400 original dollars with. My name is Craig from Flying Wheels. That's German, this is Camaro, that's a T-Bird. Welcome to Flying Wheels and flipping $400 in a Ferrari. Let's get going. So I did not end up with a Ferrari today, but I did buy a 2018 STI in pearl white. And this will now be my 10th Jeep Wrangler that I own, so I think I own 10 Wranglers for sale, and STI. Cool. Welcome to flipping $400 into a Ferrari. Come check this out, follow me. I love summer because we have so many cool cars. Today's the first time I actually have a cameraman instead of me just doing selfie videos, but look at this right here. This is my 56 T-Bird, whole other video coming up on it. Over there, 52,000 mile Camaro, but let's talk about that $400 into a Ferrari. Remember this car right here? This was one of our original cars that we purchased towards our flipping $400 into our Ferrari series. It's back in the shop, and it's actually making us money again. So not only did it make us money once, but we made a great customer out of it, and he's back with us servicing it for him. So we're like keeping the business going on these Ferrari cars, but that's again not what this video is about. Come follow me. I love summer because we get to work with some fun stuff. The winter, it's always cold. We don't always get the fun cars. If you're following along already, thank you very much. If you haven't, my name is Craig from Flying Wheels. Welcome to my Flying Wheels YouTube channel. This series is flipping $400 into a Ferrari, where I took just an initial investment of $400 and I bought a car. I fixed it, cleaned it, sold it, rolled it into the next car, into the next car, into the next car. And so far, we're at $20,000 in like 7 or 8 months. But we don't just have $20,000, we have a pretty sweet car, and it's right over here. This right here is a 2018 Subaru WRX STI that we own for $400. Yes, it's unbelievable. A few weeks ago, I was at the auction strolling around with $20,000. I took German with me. And instead of me buying stuff, I wanted to let you buy some stuff. See what you can come up with. And you realize it was a little harder than you thought. And honestly, I'm not that good of a teacher. And there's a lot of pressure at the auction. There's a lot of pressure. So we're gonna try it again. Maybe not right now, but another time. And we'll probably have some more money for you to spend. So that's for a whole other video. Today's a fun day, and it's a little unconventional. We're going to the auction with $20,000. I'm not going to the auction with $20,000. You're going to the auction with $20,000. So it turns out I'm kind of a terrible instructor. So I'm gonna take the blame for Thursday. I thought about this since the auction. I can't blame you for not buying anything because it's really high pressure, really high stress. There's a lot going on. So we've had some pretty cool cars. One of my favorites was the Trailblazer SS, and also the 2018 Cadillac XTS or CTS, whatever it was. That one was a little boring for a video, but it was a really cool car to have. The Trailblazer SS was a really fun video and a really fun car to work on. This is by far the most fun car we've had so far with that initial $400 investment. Come inside and check this out. So we have a 6-speed transmission. I have the red Alcantara interior, red stitching on the door panels. My favorite part, the seatbelts. Something about the seatbelts that just make me like them. So I've had a lot of WRXs, but not that many STIs because the price tag is like insane. So we paid $20,000 for this, and I'm thinking it's around $26,000 car, which will give us a really nice bump towards our Ferrari purchase because it's been a little stale. Now that we're getting into the higher dollar cars, the sales are a lot slower, and that's why I was posting like a video a week on the $400 flip Ferraris, and now we're like at once every 2 to 3 weeks because it takes a lot longer to sell these more expensive cars. Now I just bought this car. Let's start it up and take it for a rip. All right, we'll take our trusty old dealer plate and we'll go for a ride. Believe it or not, that was first try. We didn't do that in multiple takes. Now I just bought this car, so I don't know much about it. I know that it's a one owner. I know that it's had no accidents. Now, Subarus can be very temperamental, and I'm really cautious about buying them because, let's face it, parents with money buy them for their kids modify the hell out of them, and they blow them up, or they just don't do it right, and they beat the hell out of these things while they're driving them. So you really have to be careful when you're buying a WRX or an STI, especially with the STIs. It's very easy to overboost these things, and then the engine blows up, and then you have to either rebuild the engine and hope somebody did it right, or they get hidden and then you end up with a bunch of problems. Now, I haven't had many STIs. Let's get on this thing now that it's warmed up and see what it can do. I haven't read the manual or anything yet, so I don't really know what this stuff does. I think you can actually transfer the power to the front and rear wheels. All right, let's see. Jeez. It's pretty quick. Now, what's great is we're in New Hampshire, so it's an all-wheel drive car. These things are hot because you can use them all year. When kids are buying like Mustangs and Camaros, they're not really anymore. They're looking for these things and Audis because you can use it all year long instead of having just a summer toy. It's smooth at 60 miles an hour. It brakes straight. It doesn't vibrate in the steering wheel. Now, I don't know a lot about these cars. Again, we have our tachometer up there, which I think we can change. Let's see what happens when we hit these buttons. Oh, actually, when I hit the buttons here, you can change how much goes to the front and rear. And then I can turn it to SI drive. Whoa, that changed it. I actually like that this car is stock. I'd prefer to buy these things stock than modded. Like I said, you don't know who's getting into what. So the reason I purchased this thing is because it's a one owner and it's stock. Now, it has 100,000 miles in 2018. That actually was kind of a turn on for me because it means somebody drove it a lot. Rather than being passed on from owner to owner, somebody kept it stock and somebody drove it, which makes me think it wasn't driven very hard. It was just driven a lot. And to hit 100,000 miles in 3 years, most likely highway miles. Now, what makes me think it's highway miles? There's a few things. So the first thing I always look at are the pedals. You can see the clutch pedal isn't worn on the edges here or here. So, and the other thing is brake to pedal. So going from accelerator to brake, these buttons would be really worn down, and so would the clutch and these, and they're in pretty great shape. The other thing that's a good indicator is typically road debris on the hood. So you'll see a little bit right here, and you'll see a little bit right here and here. That's usually from stone dust on the highway, rock chips blowing up at your car. I absolutely love this pearl white paint. Do they come factory in that lime green on the brake rotors? The other cool thing is we have heated seats. So these suede seats are actually heated too, so we have the cold weather package. Now, there is one problem, speaking of cold, it's summertime and we have no AC. It is freaking hot as balls in here. And I did hear a little chirping that I thought was the steering when I drove it here from the auction, but it might be, I don't know, the AC compressor? I don't really know. We're gonna have to check that out next.
A few moments later.
Oh, fuck. Check engine light just came on. I haven't even put 20 miles in this car and the check engine light just came on, which means someone at the auction cleared the check engine light and tricked me. I've been duped again. I've been bamboozled. Let's go to the shop and figure out what the check engine light's on for. I thought this was gonna be a quick flip, and now I have to worry about emissions issues or worse. Freaking check engine light just came on. So somebody cleared the check engine light at the auction and hid it from me. Luckily, I have this. Wait right there. German! Yes. Remember this thing? So I'm gonna plug this in. This is a Bluetooth scanner, OBD scanner from Fixed. I've been bringing this to the auction because instead of these big scan tools that tell me everything about the car, or this cheapy scan tool that I paid like 40 bucks for that basically just tells me the code and then I have to Google it, I now have this Bluetooth OBD scan tool. Come check out how it works. This is a perfect opportunity to figure out why that check engine light just came on. So it's pretty simple. I'll turn the car to position 2, 1, 2, 2 clicks on the key. And then somewhere down here is your OBD port, right there. So I have the app on my phone already because I use it all the time. I'll click on Fixed so I can tap to scan. And right now it's reading all the emissions codes on the car and it's checking it out. There's no membership needed to use this thing, so it connects to my Bluetooth. That device is 20 bucks. So you can buy that thing in the link down below for $20 and it's free to use. The app is free. Now there's also a premium membership. So you'll see like Find a Mechanic, and it does live chat, so you can actually connect with the mechanic and get better readouts, more detailed vehicle descriptions, and it'll store your information. all for premium membership. And also, if you click in the description down below, you can try the premium membership for free. So if you click down below, you can get the fixed OBD scan tool for 20 bucks. I think it's $19.99. And then you can try the premium membership for a month for free. And then if you like it, keep it. If you don't, you can still use the app and the scanner at no charge. So this is telling me that it is a cam sensor. That's a little scary. But it is 101,000 miles, and timing belt is due. So timing belt, water pump, tensioners, pulleys, they're all due. So for me to sell this thing, I'd want to do that stuff anyway, because people are going to ask, has the timing belt and water pump been done? Everyone's going to ask that, so I might as well do it. And while I'm in there, I'll dig into it a little bit and see if there's anything else. The good thing, I outsource that stuff. So I have a friend that was a Subaru tech, and I can send this right to him and have him do it for me instead of me trying to figure it out and learning every car by car. Now, a lot of you ask, Craig, why don't you do all your own work? I delegate and I subcontract a lot of my stuff out, because if you think about it this way, Donald Trump sells ties, right? He has a Donald Trump tie line. He's not the one making ties. And if he was, he wouldn't have enough time to do anything else. So he outsources the ties, and then they sell it, and then he can make money off the ties. Same idea here. I outsource just about as much as I can to other professionals. Otherwise, I'd just be tying up too much of my time. That's a good business tip. Make sure you write that one down. And there was no AC, so let's see if we can figure that one out too. Problem solved. No AC belt. So that's probably why it was squeaking, and that would be why I have no AC. So if we're doing timing belt, water pump, tensioners, pulleys, we'll check the cams, we'll do everything. We'll do a leak down test on it, we'll check the head gaskets, and then at the very end, we'll replace the AC belt. Well, not me, my buddy that's far better at this stuff than I am will. So let's go to his shop. So we're here. This is my rental property. One of these units, guy's a Subaru Pro. So we dropped off the STI, give it a couple days, see what he comes back with. Oh, check it. Is it a Holden Monaro? Check that out right there. Let's check it out. Oh, man. Well, since you can't get an Australian Holden Monaro in the US, I'm assuming that's a GTO with a Holden Monaro kit. Love the headlights. Love the hood. LS2, 6-speed. Yeah, look at GTO seats, 6-speed transmission. He has the Holden steering wheel. See if you can see that. Yeah, there it is right there. And then what's the rear look like? Oh, yeah, such a good-looking car. And is that a right-hand drive Fairlady Z? Yes, it is. Automatic, so good-looking car. All right, back to the story. Let's give it a couple days, see what it comes back with on the Subi. Speaking of Subarus, check out this shop that's behind my rental property. That's Kinetic Motor Works in Hampstead, New Hampshire. They do a hell of a lot of Subarus. Check out all those cars right there. This right here is my 1990 Eagle Talent TSI. This is my baby. Why am I showing you this? Because this is going over to Kinetic this Saturday. I brought this thing back to life. It is a full restoration. I've never gone in as much detail with a project with a car as I have with this one. 80,000 miles. I wanted it to be completely stock. I did upgrade the turbo and intercooler. That's it. And the exhaust. I wish I kept the original exhaust. Eagle Talon TSI. If you haven't seen the videos, go check it out. But I will be doing some new videos. Oh, I love the leather interior. I haven't had this door open in over a year. Can you hear it? I love this car. It's a car I always wanted in high school. So that right there will be going to Kinetic this week. And I have a bunch of videos on this car. That'll be coming up like eventually. I have so many videos like in production and editing. It's just taking forever. But that one is a fun one. Great news. I have the car dropped off at my friend's shop, and while it's there, I still have the car for sale. So I've been listing it for sale locally, I've been listing it for sale nationwide, and I have somebody interested in Florida. Now, I've been going back and forth. He's getting financed on his own down in Florida. I told him we're doing timing belt, water pump. We're gonna go through the whole car. I wanna make sure this thing's perfect for him. The good thing, I have this thing listed for $26,000. We negotiated it down to $26,000 shipped to him. Shipping's $950, which means I sold the car for $25,050, subtract whatever I'm gonna get charged for the water pump and all those things. That's a $5,000 or a $4,500 profit on that car. Super excited. So at $25,000, that means if this deal works out, by the time the shipper comes and by the time I get paid, the timing belt, the water pump, and all that stuff will already be done. and then I can just have it shipped off to him with receipts, and I know I'm selling something great. I'm upfront and transparent with him. He knows everything that's going on, so that's great as well. It's gonna take like a week for the car to get done. It's also gonna take a week for the loan and all the paperwork and the check to get here. So fingers crossed, this could work out really, really well. We're back, everything worked out, I'm happy as pie. The other guy, the buyer, is so easy to work with. He knows everything about the car, and I'm super excited because I've been driving it. I put well over 100 miles on it with no check engine light. The guy that was working on it said as soon as he started up after repairing everything, the check engine light went out on its own. We've run it through the OBD, nothing has come back, all the monitors are ready. So this was absolutely one of the smoothest transactions I've ever had. Nothing really ever works out this way. So we have it sold. 25 G's. We're now at $25,000 towards our Ferrari with just an original $400. Now this is a side hobby. I've been doing this on the side because you can see how many cars we have. It's difficult to focus on one car when we have so many things to focus on, like paying the guys, paying the bills, paying myself, keeping the lights on. All these things are the cost of doing business, which costs money. So we have a lot going on, which is why we can't just focus on this car. So it's kind of like a juggling act. Although we have this happening, we have 20 other things happening at the same exact time. Now you can scale your business. If a lot of you are watching this channel, it's because you want to get into doing something like this. You can see that as a side hobby, a part-time job, we've now made $25,000 extra dollars in a matter of 7 months or so, which is pretty sweet. Now imagine if you had more time to focus on that. We've sold well over $3 million in gross sales in cars and vehicles sold since the Ferrari project has started. So in 7 or 8 months, we sold like $3 million worth of cars. So you can see how lucrative the business can actually get once you get comfortable juggling everything you have. The problem is it's really stressful and you're constantly fixing problems. Next video, 25 G's. We're going to the auction. I think I might give it to him. See what he can come up with this time. You feel better this time? Yeah. You know what the auction's like. You now have the apps on your phone, so we can take the app and go scan these cars and get an idea of what they're worth before we spend it. And then you and I can spend more time together instead of me just throwing you the walls and saying, good luck. For now, 25 G's. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe down below. Thank you so much for watching. This is a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying this. I hope you are too. I hope you're learning a lot because we're always learning. We're still kind of learning along the way. For now, I'll see you later. Have a great day. Adios.